Yo, it's your boy Marcus, aka Just One Marcus on the Just One channel. The Wizards are in a weird place. Bradley Beal just signed a max contract for, I believe, 4 years with a player option on the end of it. He actually does have a no trade clause too, which is pretty rare in the NBA these days. So I'm going to have to change that on his contract in the game. But yeah, this team really doesn't have much going for it short term. So I don't see how we could compete with this current roster within the time that Bradley Beal's contract is in effect. Porzingis is having a pretty good season. I don't know if he'll be the answer for the future at the starting 5 spot, but if he can stay healthy and Kuzma can keep playing how he's been playing, maybe they could work it out somehow with these younger pieces like Hachimura, Gafford, Kispert, Denny Avdija, and even where is he? Johnny Davis progressing and maybe becoming solid NBA guys. The Wizards right now are the 4th worst team in the East, and I believe they're the 6th worst team in the league. So they have projected the 6th pick in the lottery this year, which could end up being a guy that could help put them over the top in the next 3 to 5 years while we still have Beal. So I think the plan here is try to retool with Beal still on the team, because I don't think he's ever going to get traded. I think he wants to retire in Washington. If we can't get a championship that way, I think I'll do a couple more years after that, trying to like tank and completely do a rebuild, unless we already have pieces that are somewhat good that we can work with. Before we get into the video though, I noticed a lot of people are watching my videos but are not subscribed. So if you're coming back and enjoying my content, please subscribe. It helps a lot and motivates me to keep putting time into this content. But yeah, here's the lineup that I'm thinking of for the rest of the season. So Monte Morris 31 minutes, Beal 33, Denny Avdija starting at the 3 with 27, Kuzma getting 31, Porzingis 31. Then off the bench, Rui getting 21 as a 6th man, Daniel Gafford 17, Corey Kispert 17, DeLon Wright 17 as well. And I'm actually gonna take Will Barton out of the lineup because he's 32 years old. He only has 1 year left on his deal, so I don't think it's worth it to keep playing him because I'm probably not going to bring him back, and we're not really competing anyways. So I want to get Johnny Davis, the 20-year-old rookie, some playing time to wrap off this first season, and hopefully he'll help his progression throughout this game. Let's sim to the end of this season and see where we're at and see what it's looking like in this year's lottery. Season is about to wrap. We're 37 and 44, so I don't think it's going to be that good of a pick that we have, but we'll see. Last game against the Rockets and we lose, so we go 37-45. Luka MVP, Paulo Rookie of the Year, Westbrook 6th man, Giannis Depoy, Trey Jones Most Improved, Taylor Jenkins Coach of the Year, and here's your executive. Here's All-NBA First Team, Ja Morant getting on there. Same with Tatum. All-NBA Second Team, Trey getting on there with Harden, and All-NBA Third, you have Shea making an appearance with Randall as well, and then Jaylen Brown and AD. Here's All-Defensive First, All-Defensive Second, and here are your rookie teams. I don't think we would have a rookie on here, and we do not. So did we improve enough for a play-in spot? Yeah, we did not. We ended up finishing up as the 5th worst team in the East, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th worst team in the league. So we dropped from having the 6th projected pick to the 10th, which is not the best. I don't think an in-depth look on the stats for this first year really matter. Kuzma did drop though since the trade, or yeah, since when I started simulating, so I might look at the shot tendencies to kind of adjust them a bit. But yeah, Rui puts up 11 points, 5 boards a night. Who else? Johnny Davis ended up putting up 9 points a night and actually didn't shoot that bad in the minutes he got. And then Kispert played pretty well, shot the ball efficiently. Denny Avdija kind of improving on his shooting as well. So those are good things to look forward to. Let's sim these playoffs though. We don't really care about this first year. What we care about is the lottery and then what's going to happen in the future. You have Ingram as your West MVP, Tatum is your East MVP, and the champion of the 2023 season is the Celtics in 4 with Tatum as your finals MVP. Okay, draft lottery. Let's see where we could end up here. We're supposed to be around 10, and yeah, it says Thunder via Washington, but I'm pretty sure it's protected this year. Let's just skip these lottery results. I don't think we're going to get too lucky. And yeah, we stay at 10. So I guess it's not the worst in the world. We're still going to get a decent prospect there, but it definitely would have been better to have around 6 to maybe have a better chance of jumping up. Okay, I cannot look at trades for this pick because it was used in a previous trade, and we are doing kind of a realistic thing here. So I'm just going to sim to my pick and look at who's available. Here's who went so far. Hornets got Wembanyama at 1. Magic got Scoot at 2. Then you have Nick Smith to the Thunder, Brandon Miller to the Rockets, Amen Thompson Pistons, Carson Wallace Spurs, Anthony Black to the Jazz, Kel Ware at the Clippers, and Keontae George to the Magic. I feel like this team needs a point guard, but unfortunately there's not really any prospects here that are high up anymore that I could take to maybe fulfill that role for me. So I think I want to go for Gregory Jackson Jr. here. He's all NBA potential and he has pretty decent ratings here, already coming in as an 18-year-old. He's also only 18, so he has a lot of time to progress and become really good. I don't know if Kuzma's going to be here long term, so maybe he could progress here while Kuzma's still here for a couple more years if I re-sign him and then take that starting role. So with our 10th pick, we are going to draft Gregory Jackson Jr. So Gregory comes in as a 77, and then my assistant GM drafted this guy, Muhammad Guy. I don't think, yeah, this guy cannot shoot at all. I'm not going to pick him up. Team player options, Porzingis and Kuzma both decline. Not that surprising. I'm going to accept all three of these young guys though. Rui is going to get the qualifying offer. In the game, I don't know if he's going to progress that well, but he has been playing good as of late in real life, so we're going to have to see what happens with him down the line. I don't think any star player would sign in Washington, honestly, unless it was like KD, because he was coming back to his hometown. So I think my best bet here is to just bring back Porzingis and Kuzma if I'm able to, even though I do not see him. Porzingis actually has two big offers here, so I am going to have to throw him a bag, which I think I have to do to keep Bradley Beal happy here. So I'll give him like a 5-year deal. I think I want to front load it though, because I don't want to end up having him have a really high contract when he's like 32 years old. So I'm going to start him off at like 35 mil and have it drop down to 28 in that 5th year. And yeah, I'm gonna offer that and hopefully he accepts it. Let's see where we're at here. And yeah, we're his #1 offer here, so let's see if he will accept, and it looks like he will. Let's just get through moratorium to be sure, and we pick up Porzingis again. Kuzma has one offer. It's from the Suns, but it's not really a real deal. I can't really offer him much though, unless I see if I can offload some money. I think I'd be willing to get rid of DeLon Wright for maybe some 2nd-round picks to free up some extra money to re-sign Kuzma. So I'm gonna send DeLon Wright to the Rockets for 2 2nd-round picks. They don't really have a solid backup point guard here other than a young Ty Washington who doesn't have a high overall yet in this game. So they could use DeLon Wright as they're trying to now progress over the hump with the young guys they drafted, and this is how we're going to offload some money to hopefully sign Kuzma. I am unfortunately still pretty short on bringing him back, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to give him a deal. Like, I don't think it's worth it to get rid of Daniel Gafford. Marcus Morris is like the only solid point guard we have right now, so I can't really just let him walk, and then these other guys don't have a big enough contract to make a difference. At this point, I am going to bring Rui back though on a 4-year deal starting at 13.5 mil, ending at 15.5, and he agrees to that. I'm going to bring Javon Carter in on a 2-year deal flat to be my backup point guard since I don't really have one right now, and he agrees. And it also looks like Kuzma was picked up by another team, so that is unfortunate. I have enough guys that I would play though for the next season, so we're just gonna skip this player progression. I don't know how Rui is going down in overall at a 25-year-old, but everyone else is either staying the same or green, so that is good to see. Let's sim to this next season and get the lineup ready for the 2nd year. Here's what the lineup's looking like for year 2. Monte Morris starting at the 1 with 31 a night. Beal starting at the 2, getting 37 a night, because I need him to, if he's gonna be our guy, I need him to be that star that just wills us into a playoff team, so that maybe another player would want to come sign here if we can free up the money. Then you have Dia 31 at the 3. Rui getting that starting 4 spot now because Kuzma's gone, getting 31 a night. Kristaps getting 33 as a starting center. Gafford 6-man with 17. Kispert 17 as well. Gregory Jackson Jr., our rookie, getting 15, and Javon Carter getting 15, and then we still have Johnny Davis as our project here, getting 13 a night. I just want to adjust the shot tendencies here a bit. I feel like Denny Avdija should have a higher shot tendency, like maybe 71, and I'll up his touches to like 65. I also feel like Kispert should be at like maybe a 65 as well, and getting around 60 touch. Rui, if he's going to be my starting power forward, I need him at least at an 80. We'll get his touches at like 75. Gregory Jackson, we'll see how he progresses. Javon Carter, not really important. Johnny Davis already has a high shot tendency, so we don't really need to adjust that. And that looks like pretty much it for our rotation. So let's sim this 2nd year and maybe stop around the trade deadline and see how we're looking. We are at the trade deadline and we are really bad. As you can see, we're 21 and 34. We don't have our 1st-round pick this year, so that is terrible for us. We're the 3rd worst team in the East and the 5th worst team in the league. So not having our first round pick this year is very detrimental. Johnny Davis is shooting the ball very badly. So I think I want to still get him some runs so he kind of progresses a bit in this game. I'll get him at like 7 minutes a night, and I'll replace his minutes with Beal and Morris here. I don't want to make Beal work too much though, because he's already like out of energy here, but he is on fire. And everyone else I saw was playing pretty solid so far. So hopefully that makes us climb up in the standings so that pick that we don't even have isn't too high. But yeah, there's really no other moves I think I would make to help this team get better, because we're just so far out of the play-in right now that it's not worth it. So let's sim to the end of the year and kind of regroup and see how everyone's doing. Season is wrapped. Luka is your MVP again. Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year, of course. Amen Thompson, 6-man AD Defensive Player of the Year. Denny Avdija, Most Improved, so that's good to see that we got his shot tendency right and he's playing pretty well. Joe Mazzulla, Coach of the Year. Here's Executive. Here's All-NBA first. Looks pretty similar. All-NBA second with LaMelo and Garland on there, and Zion as well. And All-NBA third with Tyrese getting there as well. So that's pretty cool to see. Here's all defensive first, all defensive second with LaMelo making it there too. And then do we get our Gregory Jackson on a rookie team? We do not. Highly doubt we ended up in a play-in spot. And yeah, we did not. I'm pretty sure we stayed around like the same seed. We ended up with like 31 wins. So yeah, we were the third worst team in the conference. And the 6th worst team in the league. Bradley Beal, despite getting like 39, well, he ended up with 35 minutes a night. Didn't put up that good of numbers, like 22 points, 5 assists. His efficiency dropped a lot as well, so that is not a good progressive thing to see. Porzingis' numbers goes down too, but his blocks go up slightly and his rebounds, so hopefully he can still stay solid for us on this contract. Rui Hachimura actually has a great season. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and shoots the ball pretty efficiently compared to all his other years except for this one. So that's a positive thing. We saw Denny's Most Improved numbers, really good to see from him. Corey Kispert still playing really well. Maybe at some point I'll have to swap him out for Denny because he just shoots the ball so efficiently in that starting 3 spot. Gregory Jackson has a solid rookie year, but is not good enough to get on an all-rookie team. Monte Morris shoots the ball great from 3 this year. Does good playmaking. Doesn't have to score much because we have Beal and other guys. Gafford, solid guy off my bench. Maybe in the future I move on from Porzingis and make him my starting 5. And yeah, we saw Johnny Davis didn't play the best. And then Javon Carter honestly didn't play that bad. Let's sim these 2024 playoffs. I honestly might have to look for a Porzingis trade with some future first to maybe get something done if I want to compete with Beal here while he's still on his contract. But it's not looking so good for us. The Cavs win the finals with Garland as your finals MVP. Let's go on to this next offseason. Let's watch this draft lottery and see where that pick of ours would end up that is not actually ours anymore, which would go to the Thunder. It's projected at 6. Skip the lottery and it ends up at 2. So we could have had the 2nd overall pick, but it was traded away to the Thunder, and now we do not get it. That is tough. We do not have a coach right now, and I honestly think I want to bring Nate McMillan in. Or maybe Billy Donovan. Actually, I'll go with Billy Donovan because he doesn't have any offers, so I probably won't have to compete. We'll get him at like $8 million a year, and hopefully he signs that. He does. All we have is 2nd round picks this year, so I'm just going to look through the guys and try to get the best value. Okay, this guy Seth Trimble was projected to go 28th. And he has all NBA ceiling potential, and his grades are pretty good, so I'm gonna pick him up with my first 2nd round pick. This guy Jalen Hood was supposed to go just out of the 1st round, and he has CJ McCollum all-star potential and has some decent grades here that could potentially progress for him while he gets through the league. So I'm gonna pick him with my second round pick. And with my 3rd 2nd round pick, I think I'm gonna go for this Taylor Bowen guy who has Domantas Sabonis potential and pretty decent grades as a young guy. He's 19, so maybe he could progress off the bench. Here's how the top 7 went in the 2024 draft if you want to just see how some of these young guys went for if you know about them. Seth Trimble comes in at 71, Jalen Hood 70, and Taylor Bowen 69. I'm honestly going to bring them all in because at this point we need all we can get. All these guys here are going to get the team player option accepted. Denny Avdija will get his qualifying offer. So Monte Morris is a free agent. He's the best point guard we can get. We can actually re-bring John Wall back here and have him pair up with Beal again for some nostalgia, but honestly I think he's too washed at this point, especially at 33 years old in this game. You can see his stats are just dwindling every year. So I am going to bring Monte Morris back for, I think, a 4-year deal, backloaded, starting at 12 mil and ending at 13.8. He agrees to that. Then we got to re-sign Denny here. He is starting for me, but he's not really putting up the best stats. I'll give him 21 mil for 5 years, Bird, ending at 27 in that 5th year. He agrees to that. I'm gonna extend Vernon Carey for like 4 years, backloaded, just because I think he'll progress to around an 80 overall, and I could use him in a trade if I don't end up playing him at all, and he agrees. So that is it for free agency. Let's go over to this player progression here and see how everyone's looking so far. Porzingis actually progressing still at 29 years old. Beal stays the same, and everyone else is green. Good thing is Javon Carter does not regress at all because he's our backup point guard. So maybe next year they can make a push. Let's get this lineup ready for the 2025 season, and I think it won't look too bad. Starting lineup is looking pretty much the same as last year. We're going heavy on Morris and Beal and Porzingis. And then we have Avdija and Hachimura both getting 29. Gafford still 6-man with 17. Corey Kispert 17 as well. Gregory Jackson Jr. 17 as well. Then Johnny Davis getting 13, who's a 77 overall now. And Javon Carter rounding it off with 11 minutes per night. Let's look at the system proficiency with Billy Donovan here. Goes up to 3.5 stars. I don't think we'll have 4 stars anywhere. So yeah, we're going to stick with balanced here. Let's simulate the trade deadline. I think it's going to look a lot better with our record so far. But if it does not, I might look into a Porzingis trade. We are 1 game before the trade deadline just because I didn't want to potentially take another L if I was going to make another trade here. We're the 12th seed in the East right now, but we're only like 3 games out of 9th, 4 games out of 8th, and 5 games out of even a 6th spot or 5th spot in the conference. Porzingis is having a solid year, but he's 29 years old. I don't think he's the answer here at the starting 5. I think Gafford could honestly play a better spot in this roster as a starting 5 on the team. And Hachimura is having a down year after I just gave him an extension. So I think what I might do is look for some selling teams and see if I could bring in another star to pair with Beal that would kind of fit more with this roster. So I see that the Bulls are a rebuilding team. They have lost all of their center depth. They do not have any good center. And honestly, their power forwards aren't very good. Like, they only have an old guy in Finney Smith other than Darius Baisley. And the only somewhat really good older guy they have is Lonzo, which I think would be a solid piece to replace with Monte Morris as a starting point guard, then move Monte Morris to the bench. So here's a trade package I'm thinking of. They also have Josh Hart, who's 29 and doesn't really fit their rebuilding mode, on a 1-year deal. He doesn't have the best shooting splits this year, but he is still shooting better than Rui, and he is playing better defense, so he is of higher value than Rui is right now. So I'm going to try to give them Kristaps, who they can still kind of use in his next 4 years here and build up the young guys to compete with at some point when Kristaps is finally like starting to regress. I'm going to throw them Rui here, who's 27 and will also be a good bench guy to have, or potentially a starter beside Matas Buzelis. And then a 2026 lottery protected first, which could be valuable if we do end up in the lottery that year, because the year after, Beal has a player option and he will probably decline it, which means the year after that we will have lost Beal and will probably be a lottery team again. So let's see if they agree to this. I don't know if they would, and they do not. I'm gonna see if throwing on some extra 2nd round picks does it for them, and they agree. So we trade Kristaps, Rui, and a 1st and some 2nds for Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart. Here's what the post Kristaps Rui trade is gonna look like. Lonzo at the 1 with 31, Beal at the 2 with 33, Denny at the 3 still with 31, Gregory Jackson sliding into that starting 4 spot with 31, Gafford sliding into that starting 5 spot with 31 a night, with Kispert 6-man 17, Monte Morris 17, Josh Hart 17, Vernon Carey getting some play now at 17, and then Johnny Davis rounding it off with 15. I think that could potentially get us into a play-in spot, maybe even a playoff spot. So let's sim to the rest of the season and see if it works out. 2024-25 season is about to be wrapped. We're 40-41 with 1 game left against the Magic. So that trade was very beneficial to us. Let's see if we can become a 500 team. And we don't. So we end up 40-42. Luka averaging a 38-point triple-double as MVP. Matas Buzelis Rookie of the Year. Amen Thompson 6-man. Evan Mobley Depoy. Cameron Whitmore Most Improved on the Blazers. And Steven Silas Coach of the Year. Here's All-NBA first. All-NBA second with Garland and Mobley. Paulo gets on there now too. Same with Wembanyama. All-NBA third with Ant getting on there. Same as Giddey and this Taylor Hendricks guy who's apparently really good. Here's all defensive first. All defensive second, we get Lonzo on there. So nice to see we get someone on an all NBA type of team. And then all rookie teams, I don't think we would have anyone. So was that trade enough to get us into a play-in? It was. We end up as the 7th seed in the East. So that is good to see. Here's the player stats for the year. Bradley puts up 22 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 53, 43, 87.5 or 87.5. Denny Avdia, 14.7 rebounds, 4 assists, giving us a steal, shooting 41-35. So nice to see his 3 points going up. Gregory Jackson comes in that starting spot and he excels there. 12.6 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, shooting 48-38. 63% free throws got to come up, but other than that, he's playing really well. Lonzo Ball, since he came here, his points went up by around 1. His rebounds went down by 1, but his assists went up by 2. His steals went up. And his field goal percentage went up to 47 from 43. His 3-point percentage went up from 37 to 45. And his free throws went down. But honestly, I'll take these other stats going up instead. Corey Kispert breaks that double-digit mark, putting up 11 points a night, shooting insanely well. Like 48, 47, 93 from the line is crazy. Josh Hart, his numbers came down since he came here, but that's understandable because he came here in less of a role, but his percentages went up. He shot better from the field, he shot a bit better from 3, and he shot much better from the line, so that was good to see. Johnny Davis has a great year, honestly. 10 points if we round up, shoots 48 from the field, 44 from 3, and 89 from the line. His best shooting season so far in the 3 years that he's played. So maybe in the future I trade Monte Morris and Johnny Davis could be my backup point guard behind Lonzo. Gafford coming into that starting spot. His points went up from 8 to around 12. His rebounds went up from 6 to 8. He got 1 assist a night. He got an actual steal a night. Block went up by 0.5. And his shooting got kind of worse, but it's still above 60%, so that is good to see. Monte Morris off the bench, his numbers dropped, like the amount of numbers he was getting. Like his assists went from 7 to 4, but his shooting got much better. He shot 48% from the field, 51% from 3 coming off the bench, and shot almost 90 from the line. So he definitely excelled in that bench role. Vernon Carey in 17 minutes a night came in and gave me 6 points, 5 boards, and a block. So honestly, take it. He doesn't shoot the best, but honestly, it's okay if he gives me some good defense. And then that was it for our guys. So we have our first game here against Brooklyn. Let's see who they have on their team. They have Ben Simmons at the 1, Kyrie at the 2. They traded for Clay, so they have Clay at the 3, KD at the 4, and Claxton at the 5. I honestly think they have too much star power, and we do not have a chance here. We will have another chance if we lose though, so simulate through game, and we actually win. So we end up as the 7th seed, solidified in the playoffs. Brooklyn also makes it in though, so maybe somehow we'll see them in the future in this playoff series. Round 1 against the Magic though, they have Scoot at the 1, Maxey at the 2, with Wagner at the 3, Paolo at the 4, and Wendell Carter at the 5. So that is a scary roster. I just said I don't think we have enough for the Nets, but I definitely don't think we have enough to beat these guys. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we lose. Game 6, we lose. So yeah, we lose in 6 games to the Magic. We finally made it into the playoffs though, so I'll take it. We are starting to see progression here. I have, I think, 1 more year to try to get a championship with Bradley Beal. So maybe I got to make some more moves and hopefully we can make it work. as the Cavs win again and Garland is your finals MVP. So let's see where our pick ends up here in the lottery. We only have the 16th pick. I honestly might look to do a trade with it. And I actually can't do a trade with it because it was involved in a previous trade. So we're just going to see who the best guy is here at 16. I think I'm going to take Ding Patel. He's projected to go around 10 to 13. He's 19 years old. He has all NBA potential and he has pretty good ratings. He could come into that role if we don't win with Bradley Beal once we want to move on from him. So yeah, I'm going to draft Ding Patel with my 16th pick. And he unfortunately comes in at a 71, so that is not good for a 16th overall pick. Team player options, literally going to accept everyone here because I want to have young guys progress just in case I need to get rid of some of my older guys. Corey Kispert getting the qualifying offer. I think I'm going to bring Josh Hart back on a 3-year deal flat with a team option on that 3rd year just in case he starts to regress because he could be a solid guy still for me off the bench. And he agrees to that. Kispert will probably stay as a bench guy for me, so I'm going to give him 12.5 mil back for 5 years ending off at 15 mil, and he accepts that right away. Let's go to player progression now, see how our guys are looking. Honestly, I like how this team is constructed a lot better than before with Porzingis and Rui there because of how the 3-point shooting is. Beal starts to regress though at 32 years old, which is not surprising, but all my other guys are going up pretty much, so hopefully they can make up for his regression. Let's sim to this 4th season, I believe, and I think this will be the last year before Beal has a player option he can decline if we want to try to get a championship with him. Here's what the lineup's looking like for this 4th year. Ball, Beal, of D-Ha, Gregory Jackson, and Gafford. Same starting 5 as last year after the trade deadline. All of them getting 31 a night except for Gafford getting 33. Kispert still a 6-man with 17. Johnny Davis also getting 17. Monte Morris getting 17 as well. Josh Hart getting 17 as well. But Vernon Carey will get 15 because Gafford is going to get 2 extra minutes. Just because I feel like the bench is really solid other than Vernon Carey right now. So I'm not mad at these guys getting a fair amount of minutes as well. We are at a 4-star assistant proficiency now with Billy Donovan at balance. Let's sim this season, maybe up to the trade deadline, and I'll see if I can do another move if we're not that good. But I feel like we should be pretty solid. We are at the trade deadline. We're 34-21, so definitely the best record we've had in this video. Probably the best record the Wizards have had around this time in a long time, which puts us at 4th in the East, and we're only 3 games out of 2nd. The Hornets are just a god squad right now with LaMelo. They got Giannis. Dude, the Hornets have LaMelo, Giannis, and Wembanyama with Ben Simmons coming off the bench. Same with Jalen Duren. Oh my god. Giannis was like, I can sign to play with LaMelo and Wemby and just stack up chips at the end of my career. Don't mind if I do. So I was gonna say I might do a big trade and put all my assets on the line to try to get a championship with Bradley Beal in this last year that I have him on. But we don't even have a single 90 on this team. That team has 4 like 95 plus overalls. I do not think we would have a shot at beating them in the playoffs. Wait a minute. The Nets are selling. They have a 95 overall KD. The Nuggets are also selling. They have a 96 overall Jokic. And then the Pacers are selling, but they don't really have anyone I'd want other than maybe Halliburton. But I don't really need him on this team. I'm going to try to put together a package for Jokic. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try to put together a package for Durant. Because my plan was I want to try to win with Beal. If I don't, I will have to try to rebuild again to put something together for a couple years and see if I can still do it. So yeah, option number 1, we got to put together a package for Jokic. This is the best offer I can put together without cutting my team too thin. Daniel Gafford, Denny Avdija, Corey Kispert, 2 first-round picks and a 2nd for Jokic and AJ Green. Let's see if they accept it. I'll be shocked if they do. And they do not. Here's the best offer I can put together for KD. Denny Avdija, Corey Kispert, Monte Morris, my rookie Ding Patel who hasn't played for me yet, and 2 first-round picks for KD and some filler guys here. I'll be shocked if they accept this too, but I hope they do. Let's see. They're not interested. So I was looking through the trade finder and found this trade with the Jazz to trade them Denny Avdija, Monte Morris, a future first and a 2nd for Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. The Jazz are rebuilding right now, so they could use a slightly younger guy in Denny Avdija at their 3 spot to pair with the younger guys and get a future first out of it. I could also use Walker Kessler to be a maybe a bit of a better guy defensively than Vernon Carey. So I think I'm going to do this trade to try to compete in this last year with Bradley Beal. And if it doesn't work out, I could maybe trade Lauri Markkanen in the future for some future assets. So we are going to do this trade at the deadline. We have one game left on the season. Right now we're 52-29. So we break 50 wins. I think that's a huge W. Last game against the Magic, and we win. So we go 53-29. LaMelo is your new MVP. Trey Johnson, Rookie of the Year. Amen Thompson, still the sixth man. Evan Mobley, still depoy. We get Gregory Jackson Jr. as most improved. He puts up 20 points a night, 9 rebounds, a steal and a half, a block and a half, and shoots 50 from the field and 40 from 3. So that's great to see. And yeah, Steve Clifford on the Hornets. They go 67-15. All-NBA first looks like this. All-NBA second looks like this, with Wembanyama there. So LaMelo's All-NBA first, Wembanyama's All-NBA second, and they also have Giannis All-NBA second. So that team has 3 All-NBA guys. Here's All-NBA third team, none of our guys. All defensive first, we do get Lonzo there, so that's good to see. All defensive second, no one there. And I don't think we would have any rookies. We do not. Let's see what seed we end up as. We end up as a 2nd seed. So we made that trade with the Jazz and climbed up from the 4th seed to the 2nd seed, which is good for us because hopefully that means we can just meet the Hornets in the conference finals, and maybe they'll be tired and we'll have an edge to beat them. Stats on the season: Beal still leads the way, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 50, 40, 87. Gregory Jackson, we saw his numbers, ends up as the 2nd leading scorer on this team. Markkanen puts up 13, 6 and 2, shooting really efficiently. Johnny Davis 13, 2 and 2 pretty much, also shooting pretty well. Corey Kispert still at 11, shooting 50 from the field, 45 from 3, 87 from the line. Lonzo 11 points, 5 rebounds, almost 10 assists with 2 steals, shooting very well for us too. Walker Kessler 11 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks a night. I don't know why he's shooting threes. Like he what is it? He has a D+ 3-point rating. I'm probably gonna drop his tendency because I don't think he should be shooting them if he's shooting that bad. I think in real life a coach would be like, look, you haven't figured it out at this point. I don't think you need to develop that. Gafford 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks a night. Josh Hart has a much better shooting year this year, so after a 2-year slump, plays much better for us, which is great to see. And Vernon Carey played pretty solid as well in the lineups he got before he got taken out of the lineup. Lonzo's shot tendency is only at a 53. I'm actually going to bring that up to like a 65. And Markkanen is only at a 59 when this guy is averaging like 25 plus points a game this season. I'm going to bring him up to an 80. Yeah, an 80 because he honestly deserves more than that, and maybe a 75. Lonzo's touches, going to bring him up to a 75 too. And yeah, Walker Kessler, we're just going to bring his 3-point shot tendency down because he honestly shouldn't be taking them. Okay, who do we got in the first round here? We have the Pistons. Let's see who's on their team. They have 95 Cade, 87 Ivy, but then 79 DeMar DeRozan, 73 Ruben Press, and an 80 overall Jakob Poeltl. So their 1 and 2 are really good, but the rest of their lineup, I feel like we're better than them. We should be able to win this easily. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. And Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we win. So we finally make it out of the first round. This has not happened for the Wizards in a long time. And in the second round, we have the 6 seed Heat, who have an 80 overall Mikey Williams, 88 Tyler Hero, 87 Jimmy Butler, 75 Stanley Johnson. So Gregory Jackson should be able to cook there, and an 89 Bam. It may be somewhat of a tough matchup here, but we are the much higher seed. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we lose. Okay, gotta adjust this rotation here. Honestly, I might bring the bench utilization all the way down to 0 just so we can get our starters getting a lot of minutes. And yeah, is anyone playing really bad here? I don't think they should be. Yeah, Johnny Davis good, Josh Hart great. So let's see what happens. I think this would be game 6. We lose, so we go to a game 7. Although Josh Hart is playing very good in this playoff series, I think I need to just shorten the rotation more so our starters get some more run and can hopefully put it away for us. So let's see what happens here. Game 7 against the Heat. I'm going to simulate this one with Simcast. Let's see what happens. They start off on a run, and oh my god, they start off going crazy. We're kind of making a comeback going into the half, and we're going back and forth going into the fourth. They're kind of up here. It's a tie game, 6 minutes left in the fourth. We're up, we're starting to pull away with it. 1 minute left. We're up. 2-point game, and we win by 2 points. So we just get out of there to go against the team I was dreading having to go against, the Charlotte Hornets, who have 97 LaMelo Ball, 97 Giannis, and 94 Wembanyama. They're 2-3 though, are 270 overall. So hopefully Bradley Beal can cook for us here. Same with Lauri Markkanen, and somehow that can win us the series. Game 1, we win, okay? Game 2, we win too. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we lose. Okay, understandable. I didn't think we were gonna run away with it. Game 5, we lose. Game 6 against the Hornets. Did 2K make me go up 2-0 for nothing? And we lose. So we lose in 6 games to the Hornets, and that was not that much of a shocker. We came so close, and the Rockets actually swept them. Alperen Şengün is your finals MVP. So the Rockets with an 88 Jabari Smith, 87 Şengün, 83 Justin Edwards, 88 Brandon Miller, 83 Kevin Porter, 80 Josh Christopher, 80 Tari Eason, 85 Chris Middleton, 93 Jalen Green, and 80 Isaac Okoro took out a team with a 97 LaMelo Ball, 97 Giannis, 84 Ben Simmons, okay, this guy doesn't matter, and a 94 Wembanyama. That is crazy. If they beat them, if they were able to beat them, I don't know how we weren't able to beat them. We came very close there. Beal has a player option this year though, so I don't think I want to bring him back. Even though we're kind of competing, he's just going to start regressing so much. Do we end up with a decent pick here? Our pick ends up at 27 going to the Bulls. It was lottery protected. We were not a lottery team, so they just get it at 27. Let's look at these team player options, and Beal accepts the player option. So honestly, it makes sense. He's 33 years old. He's starting to regress. He could take guaranteed 57 M's or try to get something in free agency, and he probably would not get anything near that. So I guess we're competing for one more year here. Qualifying offers, gonna give it to everyone here. So Walker Kessler is a free agent, but we have his qualifying offer. Daniel Gafford is an unrestricted free agent, but we have him on bird rights. I honestly don't think I have the money to bring in anyone better, so I'm probably gonna re-sign Gafford here, maybe at like 14 mil for 4 years, ending at 17 mil. I think he should accept that, and he does right away. Then I'm honestly just gonna get Walker Kessler at like 19 mil, Bird for 5 years, ending at 25 mil, and we'll get Johnny Davis at 21 mil for 5 years, Bird ending at 27. They both agree to those contracts. I'm gonna bring in Jose Alvarado on a 3-year deal for about 6 mil back, ending at 6.6. I don't know if I'm gonna actually give him playing time. I might just run a 9-man, or maybe I'll play him in the regular season. In the playoffs, I'll take him out of the rotation. And he agrees. So let's see how our player progression is looking like. I hope Bradley Beal does not fall off a cliff here. We get one of our guys on the qualifying, and Bradley Beal falls to an 83. So we don't really have a star player here. I'm just hoping somehow Lowry and Lonzo and maybe Gregory Jackson progresses a lot too, can take us over the top. Here's what the lineup's gonna look like for this 5th year. You got Lonzo, Beal, Markkanen, Gregory Jackson, and Walker Kessler in the starting 5. Then off the bench, 82 Johnny Davis, 81 Kispert, 80 Gafford, 79 Josh Hart, and 77 Alvarado. So we actually dropped 2 overalls, which is not the greatest thing. We have a 4.5-star system proficiency though, so hopefully that is enough to just make us an elite team. Let's sim this 5th season. I don't think I have the assets to make a trade at the deadline, so we might just sim to the end of it and see where we're at. 5th season is about to be wrapped. We're 51-30 with 1 more game left against the Hawks, so another 50-win season, and we win, so 52-30. LaMelo MVP, Cameron Boozer Rookie of the Year, Amen Thompson 6-man, Chet Depoy, Basala Begayoka Most Improved, Steve Clifford Coach of the Year again. He was All-NBA first with LaMelo, All-NBA second with Giannis and Wembanyama again, and All-NBA third, we do not get anyone. All-defensive first, no Lonzo. We do get him on second team, and we would not have any rookies. So we end up as the 4th seed this year, with I'm pretty much sure that it was the same record we had last year that was good enough for the 2 seed, which means we are gonna have to face the Hornets in this first bracket here. Johnny Davis off the bench actually leads the team in scoring. 20 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 51, 45, 80. Gregory Jackson, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 1 steal, a block and a half. shooting 50, 40, 74. Lauri Markkanen up to 17 a night with 6 rebounds, shooting really well as well. Bradley Beal starting to regress here. It was understood that it was going to happen. 16 points, 5 assists, shooting numbers down. Lonzo, 14 points, 10 assists, so averages a true double-double. Still shooting pretty much the same, really efficiently. Corey Kispert's also being pretty much around the same stats this whole video. Walker Kessler, not shooting threes. His field goal percentage goes up a lot, and he still gives me 2 blocks, so I'll let us see that. Gafford, still a solid guy off my bench. Josh Hart also still playing pretty solid, kind of getting up there in age though. And Alvarado had a terrible season, so he is not going to get minutes in the playoffs. Round 1 against the Heat. Do they have the same team as last year? Mikey Williams still there, but he upgraded a lot. Instead of Tyler Hero, no more Jimmy Butler. They have Ian Jackson, 81 at the 3, and they brought in 90 overall Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4 to have with Bam at the 5, who's an 89 still. So that is kind of scary. I do not feel that confident. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. So we sweep them. I didn't feel confident and we swept them. Probably because of our system proficiency. But we do have the God Squad Hornets with LaMelo, Giannis, and Wemby. They have Josh Christopher now at the 2 and Ron Holland at the 3, so they did upgrade there. I think I'm going to need a miracle to happen to win this round. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we win. Oh my God. We gentlemen swept the Hornets. Giannis, Wembanyama, and LaMelo choked it. Gregory Jackson goes off. 36 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks. Bradley Beal, he's old, but he's still here. 25 points, 5 assists. Lonzo outplays his brother. 24 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds. Shoots the ball pretty well. And Johnny Davis went off too. That is crazy. So back in the conference finals this year, but now we have to go against the Pistons with 96 Cade. They brought in 89 DeJounte. They have 81 Nazir Cunningham, 80 Zubac, and 80 Jakob Poeltl. So they're running 2 centers who can't stretch the floor. Hopefully that doesn't work out well for them. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we win. And we are in the NBA Finals with Bradley Beal. Lonzo Ball is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP, putting up 17.7 rebounds, 11 assists with 3 steals. Shot the ball terrible though. And we have the Rockets in the finals, who were here last year and won it, that have 84 Kevin Porter Jr., 88 Justin Edwards, 91 Brandon Miller, 89 Jabari Smith, and 87 Alperen Şengün. I think if we could beat that Hornets team with LaMelo, Giannis, and Wemby, we could beat anyone. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we win. Can we do it? Can we actually have successfully rebuilt the team around Bradley Beal to win a championship? Game 6, we lose. Oh my God. Game 7, simulate with Simcast. Can we get it done? We start going back and forth. It's still a really back and forth game. Going into halftime, we're up by a lot. Going into the 4th, we're killing them. And we're gonna do it. We get Bradley Beal a championship. The Washington Wizards are your NBA champions. Lonzo Ball is your finals MVP, putting up 18.6 rebounds, almost 12 assists with 2 steals. In his last guaranteed season as a Wizard, Bradley Beal wins the championship at 33 years old. Look at these insane playoff numbers. He put up 22 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 67, 61, 90 from the field. Oh my God. He had almost an 80% true shooting percentage. That is crazy. Johnny Davis led the way in this final game though, but Bradley Beal showed up in his last year. He played for that championship and he earned it. So it took me 5 seasons to rebuild this Wizards team to get them to a championship. It was a nail biter, but honestly that made it more intense and I'm happier with the result. This team I rebuilt didn't have a single 90 overall on the championship roster. Everyone just works so well together that it just put us over the top against all the other teams who were just stacking up really good players that couldn't play well with each other. So that's gonna be it for this rebuild. We achieved what any team wants, a championship. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment down below what you thought about anything, and subscribe to see more videos in the future. Because I noticed a lot of people are liking these videos, especially these realistic rebuilds, I'm gonna start uploading an extra one every week to try to get as many teams done as I can before the trade deadline. Hope everyone's new year is going well so far. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.